Hey, everybody, it's Karen Anderson here with Aortic Hope for our week in review. If you don't know what the week in review is, let me tell you. So, the week in review is when we review the week from last week. I'm laughing because I just think that sounds really silly, but that's what we do. We kind of go over the information and give all of you an opportunity to chime in, chat, using this YouTube chat and just give me your opinion and your thoughts and kind of like coexist with me in this live, which would be awesome. And it's also for those people that aren't on Facebook or don't feel like looking on a website or whatever the case may be. If you missed information, you want to know, I don't know. It's just a review. But we do a lot more than just week in review on this YouTube channel. As you can see by the incredible amount of content that is already in there, we have some really brave individuals, whether caregivers or patients, that like to go live and tell their story related to aortic disease. And so you don't want to miss that. We also go live and we interview a variety of clinicians, even disability attorneys, even people who specialize in Medicare and the plans that are offered, so you don't want to miss those conversations as well. We have our aortic artist and our aortic kitchen and qigong. So you got to click the like and you got to click that subscribe button and click the bell. This way the work is done for you. You'll be notified when we go live and then you won't miss anything and you'll have a great time participating and watching what we do. So let's get started in what we do. All right, let's get cracking. last uh Last week it was a movement for movement Monday. So what does that mean? Back in 2020, God, it seems like it was so long ago. Each of our years tend to be themed for something, and we happened to create this theme of a movement for movement because what we've been hearing in the community is so often people become cardiac paralyzed, and it's the fear from a diagnosis, um, whether it's of aortic disease or you've survived a dissection. And listen, your doctors are going to tell you what you can do. And if there's something they're not telling you and it's really important to you, you're going to hopefully ace that part of your healthcare journey and have those conversations, advocate for yourself, communicate how important it is, and educate them on the lifestyle that you'd like to achieve, and let your physician work with you on that and get you where you need to be. But at the end of the day, any movement is good movement. Okay. So whatever it is you're cleared to do, that's what you want to do. And that doesn't mean that you need to become a triathlete and do marathons and do weightlifting. A matter of fact, have you ever heard of this is great, lazy exercise? I had never heard of it, although I've probably perfected it and didn't know that it was called lazy exercise. But let's get into it. Let's talk about lazy exercise. So it is basically a way of getting some type of physical activity without really putting in a ton of effort. So up my alley. I don't know if that's good or bad, but let's read on and find out. You don't have to put a ton of effort in or spend a lot of time at the gym to really see the benefits of moving your body. It's really based on the principle of small, easy movements that you can kind of fit into your day without breaking a major sweat. So think of it like things such as stretching or watching TV, doing calf raises, while you're waiting for your teapot or your coffee machine to work, taking a quick walk around the house. And that's especially if you're on the phone, like just walk, right? These are mini exercises and they're not going to replace a full workout, but they can help you kind of keep your body moving in a low stress, very convenient way. And that's what we were doing in 2020. This whole movement started right as COVID was infiltrating our lives. And so a lot of people initially didn't want to go outside. We were scared to be close to our neighbor. And we kind of started with, well, let's just walk around the house, walk around your apartment, walk around the first floor. Want to be daring? Go up and down the stairs a bunch of times. Do calf raises on the stairs. Sit down and stand up on your sofa like 30 times, and that's a great squat. Hold up the wall and kind of get into a parallel position, like a seated position, and that's great for your thighs. You're not holding your breath. Have a conversation with a friend. These are how these lazy exercises started, and I love them. Okay. So, according to an article in Yahoo Life written by Caitlin Riley, there's a few things that you can do to move your body without feeling like you're working out. Because for me, Going to the gym and staring at that gym floor is like purgatory for eating food. That's just how I feel. It's just how I feel. Not going to convince me any differently. I've always felt that way. So, lazy exercise can actually be incorporated into your daily life through activities like walking, which we just talked about, utilizing short workout videos. And at this point in time, anybody who's got a TV, smart TV, got cable, you have the ability to kind of pull into your TV some short workout videos. You have a computer, you can just upload them from YouTube. Really short, simple, easy stretching and lazy workout videos. Um, and you can also do exercise snacking. Exercise snacking. We're going to talk about that. But pairing activities like exercise with things that you find enjoyable, like watching TV, can actually help you make movement a lot more appealing and sustainable. And that is also a really key important thing if we're going to get serious about it. Incorporating lazy exercise into your daily routines, such as using a band when you're in a meeting or you're on a Zoom call. Like nobody's going to know what's going on. If you want to use a band and just like kind of move your arms apart or your ankles, that's lazy exercising, but you're still achieving a goal. Taking the stairs as often as you can, parking closer to a retail shop instead of farther away. Don't take the escalator if you can, and you're not going to be short-winded. If everything's been cleared, try to take the stairs, okay? Or at least take them down, which is what I do. I don't necessarily take them up, but I often take them down, and I feel that it's still a form of lazy exercise, but it can really help individuals meet that exercise guideline or requirement. If you want to learn about lazy exercising and a lot more information, you just click the link. It'll pull up the article. I found this to be very entertaining and very validating personally because I felt like at least I'm doing a good job. That's me. That's my take. And that's your movement for Movement Monday. What do we got going on, Joshua?
Hey,
I'm
Tom.
on fire. Hey, Tom.
Oh, I came in really hot there. Hey, Tom.
Hey, did. I've been hot this whole time. Like, bam. I just had like four, again, mini. My Halloween candy is not gone, people. I like to eat the little minis. And I just have four big hunks of chocolate. I like what I like. What can I say? I like lazy exercising.
I like that line. Exercise snacking.
Yeah. Well, I think I snack all day on exercise because I do little bursts. I get bursts of, let me just kind of do a little bit of this. You know, I got a lot of laundry I got to put away when we're done this. And that's kind of exercise snacking. And for me, everybody's different, but for me, with my circulation issues, holding the shirt up and, kind of getting it folded in front of me, my arms up for an extended period of time is very challenging. And I can feel my muscles moving and working. And so by the time I'm done, like a couple loads, I'm exhausted, but I know I've done something. So that's a good thing. I just helped my mother clean out her garage this weekend. And as soon as I sat down to take a break and to go through old movies and pictures, and when I got up, which was not pretty, everything hurt in my body just from got to bend over and get a bag and you're holding the bag up and people are putting trash in and then you got to move just moving continuously for like 3.5 hours. Oh my goodness. Oy vey. It was a thing. It was a sight. I felt really good. And then I went and actually snacked. That's how my day went. All right. I'm moving on. We're moving on. I hope you guys got a chance to check out the Aortic Artist. This happened last Tuesday. Diane Bishop, hysterical. It's going to happen again in December. This past week, and I looked at my picture and it's super cute. We made a gnome with his like Santa hat on and he was holding like a string and it said joy. And ours looked different enough from each other, but still within the similar theme. So I like that I splattered what looked like snowflakes in my background. And of course, Diane had like beautiful stars because she paints so well. My nose looked, it was a bad nose, but her nose was adorable, like a gnome's nose would be. But it was just cute because I got up the next day and I looked and I was like, okay, this is kind of really sort of sweet. And I will show it to everybody again on our next time together because I'm bringing it's going in the wall in my office. So I have to kind of find it cute if I'm going to hang it and not just put it in a pile. So next time that the aortic artist happens in December, please join. Please think about joining. We are painting wine glasses. These make super great gifts for the holidays or to bring as a gift to your host or hostess for New Year's Eve if you're, having a party. These are super easy, super fun, probably going to be super sparkly, but they can be whatever you want. Make it sparkly, don't. Who cares? You do what you want. But she's just there as a guide and she is crazy entertaining. Embarrassingly entertaining. Yeah. I'm not going to repeat what happened, but I was embarrassed. But that doesn't take much. All right, everybody, let's move on. The other thing that we had on Tuesday is we had a live event that was hosted by Jack Crow and Carmen David, who run the Aortic Athletes page. And that involved having Brian Morrell. So Brian is a community member. And if I understand correctly, he did not have a dissection. Tell me if I'm wrong there, Josh. But had an aneurysm. And he just finished the New York City Marathon, which I do not think is the first time he's done this. But he is one of the many athletes that exist that living with aortic disease has to coincide with living his best athletic life. And I truly respect people that feel that way. And I find that if that, again, I've said it, if that is super important to you, you can work with your physicians and really advocate for that, communicate with your doctors and educate them on the conditioning that you were in prior to a diagnosis or prior to a surgical intervention and where you want to continue to be, if possible. It might mean reducing the weight you're lifting, but increasing your reps. But there's ways to work together to kind of make it happen. And I think a lot of what you saw on this live event was really Brian explaining how he feels in this AD world uh, with these desires amongst a lot of people who have had really, really hard, emergencies, and how you bridge everything together. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, I think you're right on. He had a repair.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So scheduled.
Yeah, he had a repair.
Yeah.
There was a part in the show where Jack was like, "Oh, you guys, and you're so lucky you just had a repair, not a dissection," you know? And so there is that, there is something to be said
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
When
I
we,
mean, you're still left with a weakened aorta, but I think mindset wise, it's very
well,
different.
one, it's not open heart surgery. Two, it's,
Right.
although life threatening a condition, it was addressed and now it's
Yeah.
just monitored.
Right. Different.
It's for those people that are in the watch and wait, it's the other side of that lens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you missed it, it's on YouTube. Everything's on YouTube. And if you missed it, but you wanted to see it, but you missed it because you forgot, that's another reason to click the bell. Just saying. All right, let's get into what actually Topic Tuesday was about. And I'm hoping there are not a lot of big words in here, but let's see. This is actually from a new med student. First post. Let's welcome Alvaro. It's a very long last name, very long name, but I think he just goes by Alvaro Martinez, but it's Alvaro. Jose Martinez Santa Cruz. We're going to call him Alvaro. And thanks so much for wanting to volunteer with us and help us out with these medical Mondays and Tuesdays. So we dove into coarctation of the aorta, which in and of itself, I did not remember what it meant, but it's actually a condition that accounts for about 5% of all congenital heart defects. And it's often diagnosed in children or adults under 40. So that would be coarctation of the aorta. So what does that exactly mean? So as I mentioned, it's a congenital heart defect, but it's characterized by a narrowing of the aorta and can be compared to a pipe. So, just as a narrow pipe restricts the flow of water, making it difficult to reach its destination, a narrowed aorta restricts blood flow, creating a lot of its own challenges for the heart to pump effectively and supply the body with the oxygenated blood, which is what the aorta is supposed to do. So, if you have coarctation or narrowing of the aorta, which is something you're born with, you won't develop it. It's something that you're going to be born with because it's a congenital issue. uh, it's going to create issues when it comes to letting all that oxygenated blood flow throughout your body. So here we go. You've got your heart, and it's got the coarctation, the narrowing, little pinch almost right there. And uh, you're going to have high blood pressure before the point of the coarctation. So that's going to be coming up out of the heart, going into the arch based upon where this is. That's going to be high blood pressure, but then you're going to have lower blood pressure after the narrowing or after the coarctation. Um, just beyond that coarctation or that narrowing. Okay, so symptoms. So it kind of depends on the degree of narrowing because this will directly affect the blood flow. So the more narrow, the more symptoms you're going to have. So neonates, which is the early stage, patients might often be asymptomatic, won't really know that you've had this since birth, but you can exhibit some symptoms such as rapid breathing, poor feeding, weak leg pulses, low oxygen levels in the legs compared to the arms. And you might also experience a little bit of heart failure, which is typically shown on an echo as your fraction rate, I believe. I believe. I'm not a doctor. Don't take everything I say at face value, but I just says it right there, an echogram. I was right. Typically shows a narrowed aorta. That's going to be an early stage. Okay. And I think probably the problem with that is our kids are just, everything's so fresh and new. So we don't know what is a quirk. We don't know. They don't really usually can tell us what they're feeling symptoms wise. You would just notice a rapid breathing. We're not going to notice if they have weakened pulse, right? So that's why I think they said that this is usually detected in adults, even under 40, because as we get older, we might become more attuned to our symptoms and have opportunities for echoes or other things like this due to other reasons. And therefore, that's when it gets discovered. The neonates, the late stage neonates, symptoms can include rapid breathing, poor feeding, weak leg pulses, and a heart murmur. And an echocardiogram may actually reveal thickened heart walls, which is a sign of heart strain, while a chest x ray might actually show an enlarged heart and fluid accumulation in the lungs. It's really no hard words. I'm just being tongue tied. So, children to adults. So, these patients may experience headaches, nosebleeds, and leg pain during exercise, and other signs of coarctation of the aorta can include high blood pressure, notably a difference between the arm and leg measurements, and a continuous heart murmur. An echocardiogram may indicate heart strain along with a potential for rare complications such as an aortic tear. So when it comes to an evaluation during a physical exam, the pulse in the groin or your femoral artery area um, or the feet could actually be weaker than the pulse in the arms or the neck, which would be your carotid. Because remember, your carotid artery feeds blood to the arms. Sometimes you might not be able to feel the femoral pulse at all, which is in the groin. And the most common exam to diagnose this condition is actually an echocardiography, which can help monitor patients after surgery. And older children might need a heart CT and an MRI or an MR angiography of the chest, and that could also be necessary. So when it comes to treatment, if we're looking at a surgical treatment, there's several surgical options when it comes to repairing your coarctation of the aorta. So one common approach is an end-to-end anastomosis, where the segment of the aorta that is narrowed, that coarctation or pinched, is actually removed. And then the ends of the aorta are sewn back together. They're sutured back together. That's the anastomosis. And another technique is a subclavian flap repair, which involves cutting out the subclavian artery, one of the vessels that classically comes off of the arch, and inducing. I don't know what that means, but you're inducing the flap from the subclavian artery to replace the narrowed section of the aorta. And here we go. So here's your coarctation of the aorta surgical management. You could do that end-to-end resection, see where they take off just a little bit before the narrowing and a little bit after the narrowing, and then they sew the two pieces back together. See, boom. You can do a patch angioplasty. Which is again, when you take that pinched area out, it's almost like they do some type of um, patchwork to put them both together. Looks like they're talking here about an interposition graft where they take the pinched area and they're putting just a graft over it. Then you also have the subclavian flap, which is literally taking the subclavian artery and using that to help merge the two areas together. Fun fact, the anatomist, Morgan, I can't say that word, but that person right there, Morgan, nope, it's going to be like colloquially, Morgan. I don't know what to do with the extra G before an N. I don't know. Any suggestions? But that anatom anatomist,
Margagni.
Morgagni, I like it, and that's what it's going to be. He actually, I guess, first discovered coarctation of the aorta back in 1760. So you go, Morgagni. All right, that concluded our topic Tuesday. And Alvaro wants you to know that he is a med student and he's delighted and so happy to have joined Aortic Hope. And you'll see more from him over the beginning in January. Actually, this was his trial run, and I think he knocked it out of the park. What I have to say.
For an
Do you just
inaugural
giggle?
post.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
pretty good.
Alvaro. Welcome to the team, sir.
Yeah, really good. Who else is with us other than Tom? Anybody?
Oh, there's a few people, but they're all being shy so far.
Oh gosh, shyness. My goodness gracious. Talk to me. Talk to me. All right, moving on. So this is episode 3. That's right, because I've missed like a week in review already. I missed number 1 and 2. Yeah, so Adam Ahmed, who's wrapping up his 4th year med student, runs the TSMA. And in 2024, he did the first ever chat series for Aortic Disease Awareness Month. And so this particular Tuesday, which was last week, he interviewed Sean Nicosia. So Sean is actually on the board of Think Aorta, but she puts together your contests on your Wacky Wednesdays. And Sean's been a community member really as long as Aortic Hope's been around. So she told her story, and you should check it out because this isn't like a Survivor series. There's a lot of interesting interview questions that are asked, and a lot of more interesting information you're going to learn. And each one is different. Each person, each physician has a lot of interesting things to say in this series. So I'm so excited. We have many more to go through the rest of November. So yeah, we'll share more with you, but you should check that one out. Okay, the first of interesting fundraising that we have going on right now, everybody. Donate dollars for Aortic Hope or clothing for cash, however you want to say it. So we're asking people to clean out their closets. This is especially easy for anybody that is near the Maryland area. Could be New Jersey, could be Delaware, could be DC. If you've got little stuff and you want to ship it to us, that's fine. But we're doing the beta test run to see how this goes. We like to do that. We like to do the test run for some of these fundraisers and check it out, see how it goes. Because if we find that it's easy enough and it's going really well, then we want you guys to do it because this is kind of a fun fundraiser and it's something that we believe is going to be really easy for all of you to do. Just like the Texas Roadhouse events that we've been doing and Bruce Waldrop has done many times in Missouri. Did I get that right? Missouri. Yes, yes. I don't know why I get these states confused. And Diane Bishop has now done in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. You can always do the dine and donates and be on site to talk about aortic disease and encourage people to have their meal. And then we receive 10% kickback. We have 2 fundraisers going on now that we're trying for the first time that we would like you to check out. So this first one is right now running for us November 1st through January 24th. We are taking, oh my gosh, so much stuff. We've got household goods, sheets, towels, bedding, clothing, shoes, small bags, small appliances, books, video, CDs, the whole 9 yards. I mean, really, cleaning out your house has never felt this good. The organization, um, oh my gosh, their name escapes me. I can't believe I can't remember who. I can't remember the name. There's too much going on, I can't remember, but there's a bigger organization. It's not Goodwill, it's another organization that will actually pay us based on ounces, based on pounds. Our goal, we started small, just to see how it goes, $500. And poor Terry, who lives in a condo, is collecting all of this. I have about 16 bags right now, full in my car, because cleaned out my mother's house and there was so much stuff to take to her, so many bags of stuff. And now my son's going to get ready to clean out his bedroom um, because I'm tired of looking at, you know, DVDs and VHSs, and we don't even have a player to play them on. So we're going to be cleaning out a lot of stuff there and meeting up with Terry. And then it's Savers. The company's called Savers. And she's going to be dropping all of this off to Savers at the end of January. And then they're going to weigh it and we'll see what we raise. So we're excited because all of these items are being donated to then use as a good cause, like Goodwill and other organizations, but they're willing to give us a small kickback for the collecting of all of these items. So that's one right now. So I encourage you, if you're in and around the area, gather up all your stuff and we'll go ahead and take it for donation. So that's that. All right. Let's talk about Feel Good Friday.
Hold on. I want some
I'm not.
clarification on that last article.
Clarification. I'm gonna close it. What is
Control
it?
Shift T to bring it back up if it's already gone. Did you already close it
Oh
or
no.
is it?
Nope, it's right there.
Okay, so what you're saying is for the next month and 2.5 months, give or
Yeah,
take,
about.
you're gonna
Yeah,
have
2 months.
people send you stuff.
Yeah, people can send or meet up with Terry in and around the area. We don't
Uh,
care if it takes us an hour, hour and a half to pick up the bags and boxes of stuff that you would like to donate.
all right.
Yep. Yes, she picked one day at her office, I believe, and everybody's just going to bring stuff in and she's going to load it up in her car. Now, we knew that we had the potential of having a lot of stuff. So we have a small storage locker, which
Thank you.
is
That was
fine.
gonna be my next question.
Yes. Small storage locker. You got your first month free anyway. So we're basically only paying for a second month and it's small. But between the storage locker and what, we've each got in, like I've got in my garage and she can hold in, her storage area where she lives, it's more than enough room. So yeah. But, if we turns out we didn't need it, that's another key to let people know. So,
You mean you haven't needed it so far?
so far.
Three, no, no, 18 days. You haven't mentioned this to anybody?
No, it's been posted.
Okay, okay. This is the
But
first I'm hearing about
now, yeah, but
it. All
now
right.
it just, I mean, it started technically November 1st. I understand, which I did not even realize. But we just started really because we had two in-person events we had to go to. We just had another event last week, and yeah, so you may have a lot of things start, but sometimes you got to take your time to work through what gets attention. You want to overload everybody. So we've been gathering up our stuff to say, okay, well, what is it? How's this working? What are we doing? Kind of finalizing. We think we finalized now. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, thank you. Carry on.
Fun times. All right, let's go to Feel Good Friday, which I would like to give a hats off to Nikki, who has been doing our Sunday post, has now jumped in for our Friday post as well. So as she's getting her feet wet, we're getting a chance to enjoy some Feel Good Friday posts. So she wanted to know, look, did you have a busy week? Did you have kind of a slower week? Did you accomplish everything you set out to do? Tell us all something that you did during the week that made you feel good. I have to first remember what happened to me last week. Was last week when we went to Missouri and surprised Bruce? Whatever week that was, that felt really good. I came home sick, so it couldn't have been last week, but that was amazing. But I'm sure something really amazing happened last week too. I just can't remember. Something good happens every week. It may not feel like it when the day starts, but then I have to gain perspective and say to myself, self, you woke up. So I guess it's a pretty good day. So I don't know. That's how I look at things. But we got
Well,
a lot of
that
engagement.
and small achievable goals, right? Like
Lazy
pants.
exercising.
I
What?
got
Pants?
pants on today, right? You never
That,
know what that
listen,
small achievable goal is.
this is so true.
Do you remember do
Sometimes
you
that's
remember
huge.
when you were like, I'm going to take a shower today? Early in your you remember way back?
Oh my God, take a shower. I don't even think I did that for like 2 weeks. With the first time I was able to change my flannel shirt that could walk on its own, I was like, this is massive, huge. Like, this is great. But you're correct. The first time I actually was willing to take a shower, um, I thought it was, yeah, it was a big
Yeah,
deal.
small
Yeah.
achievable goals. Yeah.
Look, my when I came home from the hospital, a lot of people, but I've been reading recently online, people asking, how long should I have somebody with me? Should I get like a home health nurse? And the answer is you don't want to have people around you for a long period of time. Once you're discharged, you are discharged because they have tested your ability to get in and out of a car. Okay. You have to be able to do that. To walk up a flight of steps, just up one and then come back down. If you can do that and you're walking the floor, you are good to go home. You're good to go home. You've already proven that you can use the toilet in your room. Maybe you've taken a shower while you were in the ICU or step down. But those other things that they put you through, they do those things for a reason. It's in order to get you discharged. So once you go home, probably the first week, because you're so exhausted, somebody's going to be with you, maybe even tracking when you take your medications to make sure you're on track to get you used to this new way of living if this is part of your new way of living. But then you got to get on your own. I was so pissed that I was on my own by week 2. Oh my goodness. I was so upset. But my son had to go to school, my husband had to go to work, and I had a dog that didn't like any other humans. So nobody was coming in to be with me. So I would have my water and I'd be on the sofa with the controller, all set up. But to walk from the sofa to the bathroom that was right there felt like I was crossing the desert. And I would be so scared to do it by myself. That was a huge milestone. The first time I made myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I couldn't get out of the kitchen back to the family room. I had to stop at the kitchen table because I was exhausted. But I was so proud of myself that I stood there spreading that peanut butter and that jelly and cutting it perfectly in half and getting the edges off, that I was like, this is incredible that I did all this. That was all I did all day. I was so tired. But if somebody had just kept babying me and doing it for me, I would have had no reason to leave the sofa because that's where I slept 24 hours a day because everything else hurt. I could not get up the stairs. I couldn't get in my bed. So, and achieving a nap was huge. If you could actually sleep through the discomfort, that was just massive, huge, small, achievable goals. It doesn't matter. I'm 10 years out, small, achievable goals. People think I do a lot. You guys think that I do a lot and I'm always going, going, going. But I look, the secret is I go, 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 so I don't have to feel what this encasement feels like, this housing unit. If I really stop, I feel everything in my mind, emotionally and physically, and I don't like the way that feels. So I like to go and be distracted. Then I don't have to feel the housing unit. Like the mothership, I'm too busy to feel it all. So it's just all an illusion. It's like a disassociating at the finest level. That's what it is. I at least am aware. What can I say? All right. Is
Hmm.
anybody done being shy?
Oh, let me check.
Hey.
Nope, everybody's still being shy.
Oh my goodness gracious, people. Do I have to give something away?
You should really announce that before the show.
I know. I usually do. That's when I usually like I'm putting on makeup and I film myself and then I say, hey, if you want to hang out, I'll send something your way. All right. Okay, so last Thursday was the interview with Dr. Coselli. Um, Dr. Caselli had a whole conversation talking about aortic disease. He's very enjoyable to listen to. When you get a chance, pull that up and listen to that too. That was episode 4, brought to you by Adam Ahmed. Adam is hopefully going to be matching soon at whenever they're supposed to do that matching thing. And then he'll be moving on to be a resident. He'll still be with us, but we're really gearing up to get these med students up and running. All right, that was that day. Here comes the other fundraiser Friday with Texas Roadhouse. So these are gift cards. This is works anywhere across the country. After we do it, we know Bruce is doing it. After Bruce is doing it, which one of you are going to do it? Because all you need to do is use the link or scan this code and order whatever gift cards you want. Order whatever denomination you want. and we receive a kickback, 15%. It's not typically 15, it's usually 10. We're getting 15 because we attended a luncheon and it was a special promotion, but they all operate differently. This started on the 15th and will run until the 30th. As of November 30th, all orders will be put in and all of those gift cards will arrive electronically in your email box or wherever you signed up and had it done. Okay. Within 3 days after the end. So by December 3rd, you should receive them. I got to tell you, these gift cards make great gifts for teachers. If you've got kids or grandkids going to school, you want to give a teacher a gift, this is great. They love a night out. They love a night out, right? And if you are working in an office and you have a Secret Santa gift, or you picked somebody with aortic hope, whatever the case may be, this makes a great gift also. You have your doctor, nursing staff, whatever the case may be. Uh, there's no amount that's too big or too small because you can just go into Texas Roadhouse. They're going to give you those buttered buns for free and you can get a drink. So there's a lot of things you can do with it when you're there. And, the 15% value off of that goes a long way. So we're just letting you know with the QR code, go ahead and pick out your denomination that you like. Great stocking stuffers. This is great. You can use them as prizes if you're playing with your dreidel. Doesn't matter. Just grab some gift cards. Oh, well, I guess, yes, no, yes, you could because it'll be done before Christmas and done before Hanukkah, which are all on the same day. They begin. So that's another one. And we're going to let you know how easy this fundraiser is so that anybody at any time can sign up. Anytime. Just run it for 2 weeks. Just kept showing it on your page. You can pin it to the top of your page and just keep reminding people and message it out to everybody or just go tell friends. Just tell people. It's going to be a fun fundraiser. We're excited about this one. And we appreciate every dollar we raise. And 100% of the monies we raise go back into all of our initiatives for all of you. Okay. Survivor Series replay. So Andrea Garrett Helms was pregnant when she had an aortic dissection, and pretty major complications happened. And yet her and her husband still persevered. When you watch this video, you do get to see her two adorable children at the end. But another thing that's really cool about Andrea is that she is an author. And I can't remember the name. What is the name of her book? It's on our resources page. It's a pretty cool title
Is
too.
she the
And
author of the Everyday Sinner one?
yes,
Yes.
Everyday Sinner. Yeah. Great book. There's a link to it under our resources. If you scroll down to the reading resources page, there's links to all of the authors that I'm aware of that have reached out to us, community members who have written books or poetry. And you should check out her book. There's a link directly online for you to order a copy. Also, her husband's involved in racing cars, and there's been a couple years that they've actually had the aortic disease awareness ribbon along with our logo on the race cars, and he's done very well. So a lot of information going on there, but check it out. Check out her video and check out her book. Okay. Oh my gosh. I can't even believe fundraiser was mentioned 3 times in 1 week. What is happening in the world? But look, there's an easy way you can host a fundraiser for us if you're part of Facebook, and that's by creating a Facebook fundraiser. They're typically used for birthdays, right? But you can use them for your aortiversary. It doesn't really matter. And it's with the click of a button. The other thing that people aren't aware of is when these fundraisers are set up and you click the 3 dots, it says raise money, and you hopefully pick Aortic Hope as your charity of choice. Um, it's going to come up with standard verbiage created, the story of Aortic Hope, why you are hosting this fundraiser. You can actually edit that and put part of your own story in before the explanation of what Aortic Hope does as a charity. And not a lot of people realize that you don't have to use the standard graphic either that comes up, which is a little freaky, weird graphic. You can use whatever graphic you'd like. So you do get an opportunity to personalize this. But raising money for us, it's not only just about the funds that come to us, you're actually raising awareness within the community about aortic disease, which is, as we know, much more common than you think. 100% of any monies that we raise through any of these initiatives and fundraisers are used back into the community. None of the volunteers are compensated with Aortic Hope. So That's also very interesting information for you to know. And you can go ahead and look us up on what's it, GuideStar, Charity Navigator. I keep forgetting they all keep changing. Um, Great nonprofits. You can look us up because we're a
Candid,
501c3.
Candid, and great
Candid.
nonprofits. Yep.
Thank you. Yes, 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 yes. That's right. Candid. So that was our Friday, a Friday fundraiser, bit of information. Okay, let's get into some of the events that are still going to occur. I forget. God, it's already November 18th. We just bought a turkey breast like yesterday, which is now in the freezer, and I have to keep thinking which day I'm supposed to take it. I'm not. I don't do good with the cooking stuff, but it's going in a crock. Sorry, Rob and Mindy, Chef Rob, but it's going in the crock. Uh, all right. So we have all of our typical things that we have right now tonight, 7 p.m. We have our first caregiver support group meeting. You asked for a new day and a new time, and we have delivered. So no longer is our third Thursday at 8 p.m. happening. We are now offering tonight. So it's the third Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. All these times are Eastern. So that is strictly for caregivers. Again, when you click this link, there is a link in the blog post of how you can register to join. And if you register, you only need to register once, and then you will be notified every time that there is a caregiver support group meeting. Same rules apply to the regular support group meetings as well. Every Thursday, we have John Quick, community member and therapist, who goes live and kind of, has some real talk with people. And you have an opportunity to chat with him and ask some questions. And it's all about our emotional and mental health. Then we have Hangouts every single Thursday at 2 p.m. And that's just where you're hanging out. So if you're looking for direct support and to hear about other people's journeys, you're probably not going to hear it there, at least not journeys with aortic disease. Other journeys, sure, but probably not aortic disease, because we just wanted to create a place where you could legitimately, virtually just hang out with other people that are like you. As we talked about every Sunday at 12:30, it is Qigong with Kevin Songer. Now, next Monday, you will have Tammy Warner joining you for our weekend review, and Tammy's just lovely, just like Molly. We also have our Ask a Doctor coming up. And so Ask a Doctor happens on the 26th at 6:30 p.m. That actually takes place on Facebook. There will be a pinned post at the top of our page that will go bink at 6:30. You can start putting questions there. It is a public page. If you would like to remain anonymous, there will be a link so that you can submit your questions anonymously. Now, simulcast over here to YouTube, you've got Terry and I hanging out with you live here starting at 6:30 for the first hour of Ask a Doctor, relaying the questions that are being put on Facebook. We're relaying them here, questions and answers, and any questions that you guys ask here, we're typing over there. And we're going to relay those answers to you as well. So it's just a lot of fun conversation and sharing some other information with you about the organization. Okay, then we have the last Wednesday of the month, our general open to anyone support group meeting. And then again, we've got our therapeutic Thursday and another hangout. So, and then that's it. Then November's over. But you know what's coming up in December? In December. If it's your first time with Aortic Hope, December is so much fun. We have two very busy months in the course of a year here at Aortic Hope. And the first one would be September, which is Aortic Disease Awareness Month. So there is way too much information to educate everybody about in a day or in a week. And as the only organization that posts 7 days a week, we post 30 days worth of information, A to Z, about aortic disease, starting with what's an aorta, taking you through aortic valve disease, aortic aneurysms, dissections, symptoms, diagnosis, treatment, monitoring, recovery, emotional support, genetics, medications, support, exercise, so much stuff. Basically, what you will find in our second book, Aortic Disease, the Patient Guide, which we hope we can launch for you guys within the first quarter of 2025. We know it's launching then. So that's September, but the other fun month is December. And that is the 31 days of hope and joy. And so it is legitimately that. We will have some Survivor Series because we know we're going to have a couple live ones. We're going to have some other ones. That is definitely consistently correct. But we don't really do medical posts informative posts, unless something major happens and a big article comes across our desk. It is literally posts that ask you questions that make you think of things that make you feel hopeful and joyful, like favorite holiday drink, favorite holiday movie, favorite musical, favorite album, favorite cookies, any holiday traditions, favorite quote, favorite thing that Aortic Hope does or any other nonprofit. So it's 31 questions, and we do giveaways. So we have at the end of the week, people who win, at the end of the month, people who didn't win, they get entered into a biggest loser contest. We're going to go over all those details as we get closer to December 1st. So we're so excited to do it. It's a lot of work, but it's so much fun. So that's going to be our December. Oh my gosh, can't believe it's right around the corner. And then it's going to be January, you guys. And then it's going to be spring. And then it's going to be back to being summer. Isn't that great? I'm so excited. Actually, I'm getting excited because in December, Terry and I are meeting up with Chef Rob at the International Aortic Symposium hosted by Dr. Tom Martin from Shands, and it's going to out of Gainesville, and it's going to be in Orlando. I think it's the first time they've ever had this. No, it's the second time they've run this this conference. It's the first time we were personally invited to attend, so we're really excited to be there and be part of that. And then and yes, I will be on my own free time visiting Universal Studios, two of them because I love the Harry Potter stuff. So yes, we will be doing that. And no Disney I'm boycotting because their lines are too long. And then in January, I'm going to meet with Molly and Mark well, Mark is one of our director of support services. He runs one of our support group meetings, and Molly, our director of social media. The two of them are helping me run the booth at the Society of Thoracic Surgeons. So that's exciting. And we're still holding on hope that we're going to be able to pull off an event for patients and community members. Look, we are going to pull off an event. It's either going to be a smaller, like taco bar type place, or there's going to be a much larger comedy club event. So details to come. But that's coming up, and I will go to Disneyland on my own when I'm in California because I don't think I've done that since I was a kid. So that one I'm not boycotting. Because, when you're in California, staying in like LA, like you don't need to go see Hollywood sign, you can see it. So you go up and you go to Disneyland. But then in February, we are going to Rock from the Heart. We are speaking at Rock from the Heart. I will be talking about how to ace your healthcare journey. And I'm going to be sharing Dr. Ben Udelman's portion of our presentation because unfortunately I do not think that he is going to be able to join me. So that it's going to be fun because I have to really understand his stats and numbers. But we're going to do that. We're going to enjoy some spin doctors, go see Paisley Park, meet with a lot of people, and learn a lot of great information. And it's just going to be great. And then what else we got? We have so much going on in the first half of the year because Jenny is going to meet up with Sean in New Orleans to attend the Society of Vascular Surgeons in New Orleans. So that's always a good time. Lots going on. So much fun stuff. Next thing you know, I'll be a year older. Well, actually, I have my aortiversary in January, so I'm so stoked for that to hit 10 years. I really am. It's a milestone. It's the chocolate, Josh. The chocolate has just riled me up. All right. I think that's all I have now. I'm done talking. I
Molly has
pooped
jumped
myself
in to
out.
say hello.
Hi, Molly. I was just talking about you. All right. Well, that's all I have. Molly, you missed everything. You're out of luck. Sorry.
Well,
All right.
it's almost all we have. This Saturday, we
What?
have a live Survivor Series.
Yes, you do. I forgot.
Yes, and I was rushing to get all of these things underway.
Okay.
I recorded a new Survivor Series that will go up next Saturday.
So exciting.
Yes, just this morning. This gentleman, just as a teaser, his aortic dissection was uh, underway while he was downhill skiing.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. He managed
Oh.
to tuck and hightail it straight down to the lodge.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's a
Not
great
fun.
story. I'm so glad that we
Yeah.
got to meet John, and I look
Amazing.
forward to seeing everybody get to meet him.
Great.
And also, pretty soon, we're going to be debuting our very first teaser for an Survivor Series Live.
That's wonderful. Is
Hmm.
that one with Joyce?
No, I tried to reach out to Joyce, hoping that she would get back to me so
Okay.
we could record it because I didn't want
Yeah.
to supersede hers.
Okay.
But she's, the sooner she gets back to us, the better.
Yeah, so we will be welcoming Joyce and Melanie, two new Hope ambassadors with us. And we're super excited. Melanie will be a director of support services, aiding in some of the support group meetings and kind of making herself available to attend, to kind of help when it comes to jump in with moderation, to share information about the organization at these meetings. She's going to be on the ready, and Joyce is going to be helping us with our Movement for Movement Monday posts. She really took a liking to that and some other miscellaneous administrative things that we might be having going on. So we're excited to welcome them, and I'll get that information out by the end of December. So, yeah, good stuff happening. Good
Fantastic.
stuff. All right. Well, now I feel like I should just go do some lazy exercising because I've got a lot of sugar going through these veins. All right. Hey, guess what? Um, No, next week's Thanksgiving, but I'm not going to see everybody on Monday. So, um, happy Thanksgiving. I will see you guys for Ask a Doctor, and I'll say happy Thanksgiving again because that happens 2 days before. But if in case I don't see you, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And don't forget to click like, please click subscribe, click the bell, and share this because someone will find lazy exercising interesting, for goodness sake. So share the information. Please share those fundraisers. That would really be helpful and mean a lot to us. And adios.